Hey, what's up, everybody? Just going to do a daily update of what is going on with the multiple things that I'm working on right now. Um, so, just a quick update on the carpet powder. I got a couple samples coming. I don't, the problem with samples are like usually they're free. They're like $50 to send them over, so that's like $100. But I contacted two more companies because they have some really cool bottles that I think can make it very unique. So I'm trying to get a sample from them. The problem with that is it's a good and a bad thing. They have to do a custom sample. So that custom sample is going to cost money to make the sample. So they want to charge me like $180, and that's really cutting into the budget. I'm trying to do this cheaply, so might have to go a little over budget there, than 3K. But yeah, so I still think we can make it within budget. It just depends on what you want to do regarding how many units. But yeah, so I'm just gonna have one custom made. I wanted to get a 32 ounce and like a 16 ounce, and these are like the cardboard, kind of like a cardboard tube, and I think that could really be unique. I also think like the metal tube could be very unique as well. Either one could work for sure. The metal one I would prefer, but I'm not getting a response back from them. I don't know why. But the cardboard one, they have to make a custom one, and I think with the metal one they probably would too. So that costs more money to do that. So we're probably looking at like I just had them do the 32 ounce, so probably looking at like 120, $130 to make that custom one. I think it's worth it because it's going to make us stand out, look different. So I'm going to go ahead with that. Um, I have to check and see if she's got the sample order up so I can pay for it. Um, it's very cool too because the way it works is like the first one she showed me like it's just like a piece that goes underneath, but this one like comes out like slides out and like you can put the powder in and then slide it back down. Basically, it's gonna hold the powder. Like she was like the other design wouldn't hold the powder, while this one should. And I think it's like biodegradable. So again, it's gonna help with the marketing from a standpoint of like a plant-based, biodegradable, um, high-end kind of carpet powder, USA made. So I'm excited about that. I'm gonna get that ordered today. Um, Other things that I have going on, I have my carnivore supplements, which I will show you on a computer. I might have already showed it in another video, but I have the labels done for that. I'm going to get samples sent for that, working on the website for that. I have a meeting about that tomorrow. So we should get that up and running. I'm going to start targeting YouTube ads to go after carnivore influencers. I'm going to try to market under those channels so I can go after carnivores, which I think is great because that's where people are looking for information. Like I've been in these groups for years. People are looking on YouTube for information from like certain influencers, which I follow and I pay attention to as well. So I know where they're looking. I know the Facebook groups they're in. So I know where to market this to. So I'm really curious to see. Apparently, we have to have about $120 AOV. That's just the average order value or average order cost of per order, about $120, which is a lot more than I realized. So after talking to Marco, the guy that runs the supplement place, he really opened my eyes. I'm like, yeah, I really need to have a well converting website. So that's got to be a priority. Other things I'm working on. I need to start driving here soon. I wasn't able to do it today because we have like two sports games coming up. I have to go to. We've had two games now, two games today for my daughters, between soccer and softball. From my three daughters. So I have to go to a game away today. So I'm gonna have to leave this evening and go to that. My wife has to go to the other one. It's just like constantly running around. But I have meetings today. So I have a meeting today regarding the one product that needs to be custom made. Now I found a USA person that can make it, but they need a custom design. So the person I'm meeting with from Upwork, basically I paid for a consultation with a designer, and he looks really good. Like he's based in the USA and he's done like competitions for like 3D printing and stuff like that. So I want to see like what it would cost to get a model made and if it could be made with PVC or if it could be made with parts just all 3D printed. So like I need to see if that's an option. I can't talk about that product yet because again I need to get it kind of released, but there's a lot to that. So I have that. I have another meeting coming up here uh, shortly. Yeah, like in the next half hour regarding marketplace, just different ways to drop ship that I currently do on eBay, but also working on this private label stuff, but working on listings and how to find the listings. And so that's a whole nother thing I have going on. Then I have another meeting right after that with somebody. So one of the products I've worked on, there's a USA company that's really good that makes a product that's like one of the most well-known products in the industry. And I'm going to try to see if they can do a private label. Now, I'm going to be passing that on to another person in the mastermind group if they're going to take it. And that's going to be really a great resource, USA made, if they can do it. So I'm going to talk to him later, the person in the mastermind group, about taking that over. If we can have that meeting and agree to be able to do that product under a private label, like a white label private label. And it's already got great performance and great ratings, and people already buy it. So if we can basically get that into a USA made packaging and product, we already know the performance is great. If they'll do that, then we can take that to him, and he'll be off and running. I think he'll do really well with it. So yeah, I have 3 meetings in a row, and then I have another meeting tomorrow about the supplements. And I've also been working on my other product, which is based not too far from me, working on a consumable. And so yeah, I can't obviously do these all. I am going to do the carpet powder again, like, live for everybody. I'm just simply waiting on the samples on that one. I simply don't have the money or the time to do all of these products. I do have the supplements up and running as far as like the label's done, but I have to get a supplement in my hand. I did make a quick video within video, but I think I'm going to make these ads myself, just, because I do carnivore, just me talking about it and just me like explaining. It's a beef organ and like a liver supplement. There's 2 different ones. So I don't like to eat organs. I just don't like the texture, the taste. So you don't have to do that under carnivore, but that's something that you can take that's going to give you a lot of extra vitamins and different things you're not necessarily going to get from regular skeletal meat. But you can eat skeletal meat. When I say skeletal meat, like beef, you can eat that type of thing and be fine. But I think this is going to make it more optimal. So I'm going to try to do some ads with that. I want to hit a pain point, like Alex Hormozi says. I want to hit a pain point regarding, you're missing out. Or I saw a really interesting ad today that I really liked. It was a coffee shop. Now, the interesting thing about this coffee shop is it's pretty far. It's up where I used to work, in this place called Cranberry, PA. And the original coffee shop comes from where I used to work a long time ago. Not a long time, yeah, years ago, out in Beaver, Pennsylvania. It used to be out there. It was called Industry Coffee. And I'm not sure if he's the guy that I know the owner, and real cool guy, real entrepreneurial, like just a go-getter, like a good dude, like just bust his ass. I think he got his coffee into like Giant Eagles and like supermarkets. Like he had the pods. Like he went all out. Like he's the type of guy you would want to be in business with. Like he works his ass off and like he gets it done. So anyway, he had a coffee shop out there, or has a coffee shop out there. I don't know if he partnered with somebody or if he's doing it, but they put a coffee shop up in Cranberry, which is like a really rich area, like really crowded area, and a really good place to put one. But I was watching one of their videos, and they're just opening up there in Cranberry for this coffee shop. And he has a video of him driving to one coffee place. I'm not sure. He doesn't mention which one, probably for copyright issues. He goes, I'm going to show you how quick it is he turns out of their drive-through, drive over to our coffee place, and he drives over to theirs, which takes him like a minute. And he explains on the way, and when he gets up to the menu, it's just a drive-through coffee shop, by why they're so fast. And he says, we only have one size. I forget but there was a lot of good reasons why they were quick, and he's hitting a pain point. Because if I'm driving to work in the morning, or anytime, really, how many people have been to a fast food place recently? How long do you have to wait? A lot of times, I'll be waiting 20 minutes, and that's when I pre-ordered. So the speed is a main issue because workers just aren't there. They don't have enough. Everybody's eating out now, and it's just the pain point there is the coffee takes food or whatever you're ordering takes forever to get. So his way to fix that pain point was to drive over there and then explain to you why they're so fast, because they say you have a number, you pick a number, and that's coffee you get. So they already have that set up, and then you just pick a temperature, and then they only have one size, so there's no large, small, there's no confusion there. And so that makes them more efficient, faster. It solves a pain point, which is brilliant. And that's something you've got to do, I think, with every ad. Whether it's solve a pain point, there are exceptions to that, right? Like if you're selling like a sports memorabilia or something, like you're not really solving a pain point there unless you can say like, hey, this is a one of a kind sports card, get it now before it sells out because you'll pay more somewhere else or something like that. Like that's solving a pain point in a respect. So, that's something to think about when you do these ads. You want to try to solve a pain point. So I have to be able to solve a pain point. My pain point is kind of like, I don't want to eat organs, or you're missing out because you don't have the organs, so you can get them freeze-dried in these capsules. So that is something I'm working on. I really need to make it something that hits home. And like speed, when it comes to getting your food or coffee, is a big deal for me. If I'm on my way to work, I look at a long line, I'm like, screw that. I ain't waiting in that line. I don't have time for that shit. I've only left myself an extra 10 minutes. What if I'm in there for 15? I'm late for work. I can't mess with that. So if they can solve that speed problem, that solves a huge issue. And that's a pain point. And that's really brilliant. And I'm sure they've thought that through on that ad. They're smart enough, entrepreneurs, to know that that's a pain point for people. They probably had a brainstorm session with thinking, well, what's the best way to solve these pain points? Or what are the pain points that somebody has when they're trying to get food or coffee? So if you can be good quality and you can be fast, that is a huge thing. And then related to their pain point, your money. You know what I mean? So something to think about, really big deal. I will keep you guys updated on the different things I'm doing. And hopefully you guys have a blessed day. I will try to do a video on the computer so I can kind of show you guys what I'm looking at as far as the bottling goes. And, kind of go from there. I'm just waiting on samples for the carpet powder. And you guys have a blessed day. Later.